This is Jerry Stubbs, Mr. Olympia. We're live and in color with Wolfie D.
Hey, this is Jimmy Street, host of the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast. Hear the life and times of professional wrestler Wolfie D. From his time in the territories with PG-13 to his time in WWE, ECW, WCW, TNA, and more. Nothing is off limits and nothing will be held back. Thanks again for tuning in. Here he is, Wolfie D.
Welcome once again to Live and in Color with my man Jimmy across the street, and it's Wolfie D. What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. What a cool episode we got coming up.
I know. I'm excited, man. Mr. Olympia Jerry Stubbs, the original Mr. Perfect. I mean, he's got so many cool things about his history, but yeah, what a cool guy, dude.
For
I'm
sure.
excited.
And mass wrestlers. You know I love mass wrestlers.
Oh. We are queer for the mask on this show, guys.
I always heard I was queer for the blade, but I'm also queer for the mask wrestling.
or whatever, we're happy here. So but seriously, the mask gimmick, it's just a great gimmick. It's such a timely gimmick, and man, I love it. So I know Jerry's going to be cool, man. He's going to be down in Dothan, Alabama with the NWA and our buddy Captain's Corner. Of course, y'all out there in listener land, y'all are, probably tired of hearing us promote these things, but that's what our job is over here at Live and Color. Yeah.
And he's homies with a bunch of our homies. I mean, Tony Anthony, the Armstrongs. I mean, there's a lot to talk about here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And he's going to be at NWA Hard Times Saturday, March 22nd. And that is going to be with all the stars of the NWA plus Barry Windham and so many other people. So y'all go get your autographs there that night. We'll talk about it more with him. But man, I'm ready to get Jerry on the phone. What do you think, bro?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right. We'll be right back after these messages with Mr. Olympia, Jerry Stubbs.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
This episode is brought to you by Walmart. New beauty is in bloom at Walmart, and it's all about springtime radiance. From Drybar, Tula Skincare, and hundreds more available online, Walmart has the premium brands you want and this season's on-trend products for flawless, glossy hair and hydrated skin. Big name beauty brands? Check. The things you love? Check. Find trending spring beauty and all you need to look and feel gorgeous at Walmart, on app and online.
Hey folks, to get your official Live and in Color with Wolfie D merchandise, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Live Wolfie D. Check it out.
If you're listening to Live and in Color with Wolfie D on Apple Podcast and like what you're hearing, go ahead and leave a 5-star rating. And while you're at it, write a review. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you'd like to hear in the future. It's very important to us and always appreciated. Thanks again.
All right, guys, we're back. Once again, you survived the commercial break, and we have Mr. Olympia coming on the show today. Jerry Stubbs, man, this is going to be cool because we've got a lot of friends in common. Even though me and him have never crossed paths, we have a lot of friends in common, according to Wikipedia, and the internet don't lie. So, Jerry, man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I've had some ailments and some bad things. I had a 4-way bypass several years ago.
Really?
I got 3 stents, and I'm on my 3rd pacemaker, but I'm still here.
Well, shit, I got 3 stents, and I had a Widowmaker heart attack. So, hell, we're even more close than I knew.
I know, man. Hey, I know. I keep those glycerin pills in my pocket.
Me too. Me too. I took a flare bump, man. It was man, me and my girl were going like on vacation and stuff, and man, there was like nothing was wrong with me. Nothing was wrong that I knew of, and we went to a gas station. I thought I had gas. I thought it felt like gas in my ribs. And I told her to go into this convenience store. I said, go get me some gas pills. Something ain't right. And took a flare bump, boom, hit my head, and ended up in the hospital. And, yeah, it was a Widowmaker and put 3 stents in me.
Hey, man, I know it's not funny. It's hard. When I had my first thing, I was going to the bathroom about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had to sit down on the end of the bed. It seemed like I just lost everything,
Really?
And I finally got it back, and at first I was treating it like acid reflux.
Yeah.
But then, finally went and had all that other done, and then later on had to do the I was taking glycerin pills. This is no joke now. I was taking at least 3 a day.
Really?
I was taking almost 100. I was getting a pack that had 25 in these little bottles, and I got 4 of them, and I'd have to call him back at the end of the month. So he finally put me in the hospital and did through this big tube, and I couldn't stay in it. I told him, get me the hell out of here now. I said, I got to get out. And it won't be much longer. And I said, yeah, and I'll be dead. So get me out of this damn thing. And they got me out of it. And the next day, 2 days after, I had to go to do my pacemaker anyway. And the head man at the pacemaker found out that my pacemaker was bad. The wires were bad.
Really?
So change the wires, or we can change the whole thing. I said, I ain't coming back. You better change the whole thing. So that's what they did, and it's been over almost 2 months, and I've been doing good.
That's good.
So that was just 2 months ago?
I'm not taking all that 100 glycerin anymore. I may take 4 or 5 a month.
Wow. That was just 2 months ago, though, you say?
No, it was, I had that new pacemaker put in 4 months ago.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're doing good, man. I'm glad you're doing good.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel better. I got to go to Dothan, Alabama, the 22nd of March, with Nick.
Yeah.
And do signing down there. And then I think we're supposed to go back to the room and do some more stuff. So
awesome.
It should be good, man. I hadn't really been nowhere. I was with Nick.
Jimmy can tell you all the ups and downs of that.
Yeah, it's NWA Hard Times, Saturday, March 22nd. There's going to be an autograph signing, a meet and greet in Captain's Corner. Again, you're going to get to see great stars of the NWA, but also I think Barry Windham is going to be there, and Mr. Olympia, our guest today. Once again, that's with our buddy, good friend, Nick from Captain's Corner. So, yeah, that should be fun, man.
I can't wait, man. I actually hadn't been to anything since I was with Nick and Charlotte.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So kind of just done my own thing, because I worked with a sheriff's department, but I retired 3 months ago.
Oh, well, congrats.
I was with them in and out, police department, sheriff's department for many, many, many years. But it's gotten rough.
Oh, man, no doubt. I don't think I could do that job right now. It's a different, man, too much.
You got to face it, because then people out there are going to make you mad.
No.
Have to have it. You don't want to be in a mindset that, you're going to take them on because, hey, you're going to be in the wrong, regardless, right or wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, it's flipped upside down. The world is different now. Criminals are victims. Victims are criminals, And,
oh, my God, yes.
It's rough.
Yeah. It's a different place now.
But, excited, man. I spent a lot of time down in that area.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
Hometown of Bobby Eaton, correct? Dothan? Isn't that where he's from originally?
From Dothan.
Yeah.
I feel like I was as much as I was there.
You got any Bobby stories?
No, not really. I only worked with Bobby several weeks when I went up to Memphis. I didn't stay up there that long, me and Tom Pritchard. And then we left and somewhere else. I can't remember where, but we went somewhere else. But so I went up in Memphis area for about maybe 30 days. And then Bobby came in times and all. But didn't know Bobby that well.
Well, man, what a good man. What a good man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I talked to him several times, back and forth, but never was in a territory where he was steady,
Yeah. I was looking up your Wikipedia stuff, and we do have a lot of friends in common, even though you and I had never crossed paths. The Armstrongs, you did a lot with them, and man, I'm one of those people that can say, and I know you can, I worked with every one of them, and they were great, and to this day, I talked to Road Dogg Brian, but I worked with every one of them. Talk about the Armstrongs and what a great family they were.
Oh, well, Bob, actually, my name, Mr. Olympia, came from Bob. We were in the gym one day, and I was working out, and Bob said, "Boy, you look good, man." He said, this, that, and that. He said, I think you could put a mask on and go as Mr. Olympia. You look like him. You built. You look like him, and shoot, I think you would do good. And I did. I ended up putting the mask on, did an angle, put the mask, Then I finally went out with Bill Watts in his territory, but I always come back. But, I trained Brad and Scott.
Did you really?
Yeah, you ask them. I trained back. Well, poor Brad's gone, but Scott, he'll tell you.
That's cool.
Scott will tell you. I work with him a lot, because we live right down the street from each other in Pensacola when I was there. I trained Brad, worked with Brad for a long time, and Brad was one heck of a worker, boy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they all were. Steve too. Steve and Scott and Road Dogg and Bob.
They were all good.
Yeah, Bob
they were all good.
Bob was the man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Bob.
Seriously.
And it's strange because we were in the dressing room one time before he went with Bullet Bob, and knowing I was a police officer and worked with the sheriff's department and carried a gun and all that. He said, "Man," he said, "let me see." I showed him a 357 one night. We saw the bullets. Bullet Bob, and he's used it ever since.
Holy cow! That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of stories out there. I work with a lot of guys. Junkyard Dog, Ted DiBiase.
Oh yeah.
Paul Orndorff. I work with them, the big guys. Ernie the Cat Ladd. Shoot, it was something.
So you're saying those names right now. Who was the best that you worked with? Who do you remember was like, man, I was in the ring with this dude and it was just awesome.
The best matches I had was with Brad Armstrong and Tony Anthony and some of those back in there the day where we were tag team at one time.
Yeah.
As far as the hardest was actually Abdullah the Butcher. Only certain that you could do. And then when he hits you with that elbow coming off the rope, he has that slab underneath his arm that really people don't look at, but he drives into the mat, man, and he knocked the breath out of you.
Yeah, that extra wing.
I had the fun to work with Ric Flair, Harley Race. I even had Lou Thez when I started in Birmingham one time.
Wow.
And he put me over, and I thought I did something wrong because I was new. And he said, and we got back to the dressing room, and I was apologizing, man. I'm sorry. He said, "No." He said, "You wouldn't have beat me, son, if I wouldn't let you."
Really?
He laughed and gave me an old hug and said, "You're gonna be okay."
Wow. That's got to give you goosebumps right now.
Oh yeah, I just got some.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's awesome. That's very awesome. I'm going down to Dothan at 22nd, and I'm gonna meet Charlie Platt. There's a kind of a fish place, I guess, in Headland, Alabama.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna meet him and several more that was down there and eat going down on Saturday, and then meet Nick at the motel. And then we're going over to the Coliseum. But yeah, I can't wait, man. I hope I see a bunch of people I know.
Oh, I guarantee you will. I guarantee you'll have a good time. That's what I like about the conventions, man, is just being able to see some of the guys that I haven't seen in so long, or even some of the guys that I don't know, kind of like you and stuff like that. Like, you know, once you're one of the boys, you're one of the boys, and
right.
No matter what.
About the new guys coming up, they can't do this. I said I couldn't either. I couldn't do it all.
Right.
People helped me, like Bob Armstrong. Rocky Johnson took me to Griffin, Georgia, every Sunday for a long time. I bet 3 months. And Rock he wasn't about 4 foot tall, 3 foot tall. He was in the bottom. Me and his daddy was working, and he was teaching me the ropes and how to do this and how to do that, and making sure that you got to be able to take care of yourself, because these people will take it of you. And wrestling too was a big thing for me. I traveled with him a lot, you know, and he would tell you got to take care of yourself, boy. You know, they will try you, and they will do what they want to do as long as you let them.
Yes, that's the thing, man. And you know, like you said, today's game is a little bit different, but back then, I mean, and I've said this, working with Bill Dundee and Lawler and stuff, they're going to take it until you take it back. You know what I mean? And Bill especially taught me that, man. He was going to take until I took it back. And, that was a great learning experience.
And sometimes, you know, they'll give a few, and they'll tell you, come on now.
Yeah.
Do something. You know, people don't realize that. Then you start doing something, then you start hitting them in the mouth and nose and eye. So you told me to come on.
Right. Yeah.
You know? One
of the first people, I don't know if you know the name, Gypsy Joe was one of the first people that I was ever in the ring with. I claim him for, you know, training me, because he was the first actual wrestler I was in the ring with. And man, he was stiff, and he was a tough old man. he taught me that kind of stuff.
A couple times, never worked with him, but I met him. But you know who I worked with? And a lot of people, you know, way back then probably won't remember him, but Mario Galento.
Oh, we've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I worked with him, and you know, him and Buddy Fuller used to tear the matches up, boy, and all that. But I worked with Mario Galento in Knoxville, and then he moved to Pensacola and started something down there. And I moved to Pensacola when all of them moved. You know, Ron Fuller and all the Fullers and all them moved to Pensacola.
Southeast.
I went down. Yeah. Joe was down there, and his wife was working in a restaurant over in just outside Pensacola. And I got with Mario. We worked out a little bit at the gym.
Let me ask you this, man. I know you know the story then, if you're talking about Mario. Jerry Jarrett, you know, there was a deal where Jerry Jarrett says he pulled his eye out and all this kind of stuff. You know anything about that story?
Well, I heard that story too, and some of them say it's true. He tried to stick his finger in there and pull his eyeball out.
Yeah.
I said it was bouncing on the canvas.
Oh, yeah.
You plucked it. Yeah.
I know. And then there's Austin Idol. Austin Idol stayed up there a long time.
Yeah. Who knows?
Because you know how stories get repeated and exaggerated and stuff like that. But we laughed at that because Jimmy, who was it that was telling us that story? And then we did the
Randy Hales. Yeah, Randy.
Yes, Randy was telling the story, and they made it like his eye was rolling around on the floor, and I don't think that's what happened, but whatever.
No, he did pull it out. Pulled it out of the socket, but he didn't pull it out of his head.
Right.
He popped it out of his socket, but those eyeballs are made. You know, they'll pop back in if you do it right away.
Oh,
it's just like somebody hits you in the nose and it goes on the side of your face. You'll take your two hands and put it together and jerk it back straight. It'll come right on back. It's so scary.
You're a professional, I can tell.
He knows what he's doing on that.
Yeah, I can tell. Man, well, if you don't mind, I'm going to jump in here. So one of my favorite wrestlers, it's a very specific point in his career. I like to call him Pensacola Arn.
My spot.
Okay. And I love there's always the picture of Arn in some sunglasses, like shorts, maybe a shirt, maybe no shirt, and like a little a straw hat or something. And he's standing there on the beach in Pensacola, smiling, a big grin. And sometimes you're standing there with him, somebody else is. I just love Pensacola Arn. Tell us about tagging with Arn Anderson.
Tagging with Arn, see, and a lot of people don't know this either. See, I brought Arn over there.
Yeah,
I brought him over to Pensacola as Super Olympic.
Right.
And we had some deals and this, that, and the other, and then finally we turned into a tag team.
Yeah,
and we both had those little hats and stuff at one time.
Right.
And so, but I tell you what, between me and him as a tag team, me and Tony Anthony, and me and Ted DiBiase, and me and Junkyard Dog, that's four people that I tagged with that was great. And the best one I got to be Arn Anderson.
That's awesome.
And the second, because Junkyard Dog couldn't do a whole lot. I had to do most of it.
Right.
And didn't mind. I like working, And he couldn't do but so much, so I'd do all the rest and let him come in and finish.
Yeah. Man, you gotta talk about, because I talk to Tony I don't know, once a week, once every other week. Me and Tony Anthony talk all the time. So, and I tried to call him today before I talked to you because I was going to try to get some mess on you, but I was unsuccessful. We didn't talk. Talk about Tony though, man. What a good guy. What a great worker.
Oh, he's good, man. He's really good.
Give me some lowdown on him. I want to have some shit to call him on.
Well, hey, you can't get much on him because him and the dirty white, we call her dirty white girl, was to get to ballet, and then they lived together for a long, long time until he actually left. So he stayed kind of close to home. Now, I stayed with him, and sometimes I had a room with him in Birmingham, him and her, and when we had a run over there. And but there's not much I can tell you on Tony because I wasn't around him when he was a bad boy. So I can't tell you too many bad things because we was always together. And he had, I guess I call her his girlfriend, but the dirty white girl and the dirty white boy. So, but we had a good run, real good run, and there ain't no better workers than Tony.
Yeah, me and my partner had a good run with him and Tracy Smothers up in Smoky Mountain, and I love Tony to death, man. He's a good man.
Talk about working the Nightmares with Tony.
Oh yeah, that's another one, man. That's another connection that I have with him, man. Nightmare Danny Davis, like. I was 19 years old or 18, 19 when I got in Memphis. And I was married to Danny Davis all the time. And I know you worked with him a lot, man. I mean, talk about Danny Davis.
Well, the Nightmares. I mean, me and Tony had a big run with the Nightmares.
Yeah.
And they were quick, and they could work. We even had cage matches and all kind of death matches and all kind of stuff. But they could work
absolutely.
Real good. He could work with, too.
And to think of it, Danny, the OVW thing and turn that into a big WWE developmental deal. And I mean, he, has an arena named after him up there.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. I sure didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely. In Louisville.
Austin Idol was down in Dothan area, and he's always been up around Memphis and that area because he always liked that area,
Yeah.
But he had worked with us for a long time. He moved to Pensacola and worked down there with us for a long time.
Austin Idol, man, like as a kid, I really loved Austin Idol. You know what I mean? Just the Las Vegas leg lock and just the way he talked and all that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed that as a kid. Yeah.
Did you have much dealings with wrestling too, Johnny Walker?
Absolutely. No, none.
Man, I felt that need a lot of times. Sometimes I didn't know what hurt the worst, the slap on the back or the knee.
Yeah, that's another thing. I hate that, man. When somebody slaps you in certain places, just hit me. Don't slap me.
Yeah, I got to work with a lot of guys. Old Skandar Akbar, some of those ones,
man,
been around a long time. So it was fun. It was fun. I miss some of them. They're gone.
Yeah,
yes,
sadly.
Sure. And you say that about the slap on the back, man. I'll tell you one thing I hate the worst, man. And like working with Lawler, he would do this. When you punch him, he would slap you on the side of your ribs right there to make the smack. Oh my God, man! I almost wanted to sell that more than I wanted him to sell my punch.
You almost want to come to the dressing room and say, "Damn, which one you want me to sell?"
Right. I hate that, man. I swear to God, I hated that. Do not slap me there. That shit hurt.
It does. It does.
Yeah. Well, not only are you Mr. Olympia, you were actually a Mr. Perfect, and maybe the original Mr. Perfect.
That's cool too, yeah.
And I noticed in All Japan you teamed with Brad Riggins and Paul Diamond, and is that where Kurt Hennig got the okay to get it from you?
Actually, Kurt got it in Japan.
Okay.
We were in Japan together. Me and him and the junior champion Roll. Yeah, he was there. A bunch of us were there. And we were out one night, and he said he was talking about something going back to New York. And he said, I got to do something. I got to have something to go back with, to find out or figure out or whatever. And I said, well, look, I'm just started using that Mr. Perfect, and it seemed like it would get over, and especially up there where you going. And he said, you mind if I use it? I said, I'll sell it to you. He said, how much? I said, yeah. I said, you get that fifth of Jack Daniels over there, you can use it. So he called a waitress over there, and they're all Japanese.
Yeah.
And he said, I need a bottle. I need a whole bottle. So he brought him a whole bottle. You know what that bottle is? It's a small bottle of Jack Daniels costing $100.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. In Japan, he said, I don't care. He said, I'm going to use that. I like that. I already like it, and I ain't there yet. I said, hey, you fine. Use it, man. And get over with it. I hope you have a good run with it.
He made that back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That's
he
funny.
made that.
My 4 favorites that made me want to be a wrestler were Kurt Hennig, Randy Savage, and the Road Warriors.
Well, let me tell you something. Me and Randy Savage played baseball against each other.
Really?
Yeah, he played with Cincinnati. I played with Pittsburgh.
No shit.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
We were down in, you can look it up. We were down in the rookie league together, and he played first base. And, a lot of people don't know Randy could throw with his right or left hand.
Yeah, yeah. He taught himself because he hurt his shoulder, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I played, I was a catcher and played third base with Pittsburgh. And we played several games against each other, and then.
That's cool, man. That's cool. That's super
The winter, whatever, we'd come home for the winter, and we'd go to the European Health Spa in Forest Park. And I'd see Randy, and Randy said, don't we know each other? I said, yeah, Randy, I think me and you played against each other in baseball. He said, yes, we did. He said, aren't you that catcher that played with Pittsburgh? I said, yeah. And I said, you played first base, didn't you? He said, I'll be damned. He said, so, but yeah, that's how we really, started knowing each other. And then we both started working for Atlanta, and we had a lot of first matches against each other.
Who was the better baseball player, you or him? Don't bullshit me.
It's hard to say because I was a good hitter. He was or not. I know he was a good first baseman, but I don't know how he hit. But I was a good hitter too.
Yeah, really.
And yeah.
Pretty cool, man. That's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very
a lot of people don't know things like that,
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's very cool. So what happened with baseball? Did you get hurt or something, or just reached your...
I don't know if you can remember, but back in the 70s, it came up as the first time they ever had a strike.
Yeah, right.
I was playing then.
Oh, gotcha.
They had to let a lot of us underneath people go. So I was one that they, had to let go. And I don't know if Randy and him was, but in Pittsburgh, they had a lot of people overseas and way back over there that they could get them for a little or nothing in Puerto Rico, and they'd bring them all over and play. And, that's how they found Roberto Clemente.
Yeah.
And so on and so on. So, and played and all that. And I enjoyed it. So let me go. Then they wrote me a letter, call me, come on back, call me. No. I said, I ain't coming. I ain't coming back. No, you got to come back. You can make this. I said, I know I can make it, but I done got into something else I want to do. So I didn't go back.
And that's where you got into wrestling. I mean, so that was a thing before baseball, like as far as a kid or whatever.
Yeah, that was right out of high school and into junior college, and then I signed with Pittsburgh out of junior college.
That is awesome. That is very cool.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick time out and get a word from one of my dope-ass sponsors, and we'll be right back with more Live and in Color with Wolfie D.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day, and that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Every cup of Nespresso coffee is an invitation to transform your morning routine into a ritual you can treasure each and every day. Using the Virtuo Pop, a simple touch of the button freshly brews bold aromas and a rich, velvety crema layer for delicious cafe-quality coffee at home. Whether you enjoy your coffee hot or over ice, every sip, every morning is unforgettable. Nothing tastes like Nespresso coffee. Visit Nespresso.com or our app to explore our full range of easy-to-use machines and coffees not found anywhere else.
Are you done with the cold? Well, on Saturday, March 29th, we've got something to warm you up. It's Glory Days GrappleCon 2 at the Residence in Tampa Suncoast in Lutz, Florida. This all-day event will be a WCW reunion and feature the stars you remember, such as NWA Arn Anderson, the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff, Ming, Dirty Dutch Mantel, Colonel Robert Parker, Bunkhouse Buck, and much, much more. There will be over a dozen stars in attendance. Make sure to head on over to Tickettree.com to get your tickets for Glory Days GrappleCon 2.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was getting frustrated by your forms. Now, Taxes is uploading your forms with a snap, and a TurboTax expert will do your taxes for you. One who's backed by the latest tech, which cross-checks millions of data points for absolute accuracy, all of which makes it easy for you to get the most money back, guaranteed. Get an expert now at TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Who were your wrestling idols?
I guess wrestling too. Stan Hansen was one.
Yeah.
He was a good one, back then. And Ernie was a good one. All these guys, I don't know if they just liked me or what, but they took care of me. They helped me along the line. Even when they were booking, they would give me good bookings and all that because maybe they saw something.
Yeah. I'd say they did. So the turning on JYD, man, I'd love to hear something about the story about that.
Oh man, hey, I like the night got out of New Orleans. That's they were went nuts, man. And it's something about New Orleans. They me and Paul Orndorff worked down there one time, and then this guy wanted to. I guess he hit me in the back of the head as I come out of the ring in New Orleans, and so the policeman came back there and he says, "You want me to bring you back here?" I said, "You don't close the door when you bring him back here?" He said, So he brought him back there, and me and that boy went round and round. I beat the shit out of him. And the policeman throwed him out. "Don't you come back?" And I said, no, let him come back. I don't throw him out for good. But I didn't have many problems after that. Paul Orndorff did the same thing with a guy. But they would bring them New Orleans policemen, they'd bring their asses back there and say, "Hey, he's all yours."
That is funny.
And that guy, there's a lot of fights back there in the back.
Yeah, man, I could say this, like breaking in, last of the territories was Memphis. And in the early 90s, there was a couple of times where things like that went down. And the cops in Louisville especially were so cool with us. And I remember this guy dumped a beer on my head when I took a powder out and was laying up against the barricade. This guy dumped beer on my head. By the time I stood up, turned around, the cops had him, like, his arms were stretched out, and I punched him right in the face, and they took him out. I mean, and it was like, I didn't get no trouble for it, but that's just how it went back then, and it was so cool, so different back then, and obviously now you can't get away with that stuff, but yeah.
Oh, I know. I was working in Crossville, Tennessee, and the guy jumped. My finish was I got my brass knucks out of my trunks, and I hit the guy, right? Well, by the time I got brass knucks out of my trunks, this idiot comes jumping in the ring. And when he did, holy cow, I blushed. I blasted him. I swear to God, if he didn't go over the ropes, he went through them, but he went over them. And I just knew the police were going to lock me up. And I hit him with those brass knucks, man. I cut him open good. Them Clarksville, these people, they wild.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've had a number of people, Jimmy knows, I've told him the stories. I've had a number of people jump in on us, and it just happened, and it is what it is. But it's just different today. You can't do that. Back then you could, but. Yeah.
Right. But I tell you what,
times, though.
Upper out there. To watch them work now, they do a lot of crazy craps.
Super athletes, man. Super athletes.
Yeah.
Really I can't do and couldn't do some of the stuff they do now, but I think, and I'll ask your take on this. I think WWE has brought back a little bit of old school when it comes to the matches as well as the storylines. The other stuff, the other organizations, I just don't think they're going to make it.
No, they don't. They just get out there and hit each other. They don't draw a story. They don't. You got to have a storyline.
Yeah,
it's got to be something, and you got to have. The matches has got to mean something.
Yeah.
Like me and so-and-so, or so-and-so and so-and-so. They got to mean something. If they ain't got nothing connected with them, they're just a match.
Right.
And that's why one guy tries to make the other side, somebody mad, do this, do that, cheat here and there. But, hey, I cheated. I cheated a lot of times. But, but I hadn't cheated when I was a good guy. I'd go to Birmingham, and there were people outside in Birmingham in the back before I go in, and they said, "What are you going to do tonight, you cheater?" I said, "I don't know yet." I with a ball. I may hit him with a baseball. You better not working with Bob Armstrong. And you better hit Bob. Better not hit Bob. I said, "I'm going to hurt Bob." It was fun, man. I'm telling you. I miss it. I miss not being able to get in there and do something,
Yeah. Oh, I hear you. Yeah. I hear you.
Did they have to go to the matches and show the time?
My wife was just telling me, when I was in Pensacola, I'd always tell my kids on Sunday night we run Pensacola. I'd tell them, look, y'all good this week. You know, if I don't have to get on you, whatever, I'll take you and go. And I would get them a seat on the front. And my son Troy, he was 8, maybe 7, 8, probably 7, 8 years old. But anyway, I was getting beat up. Well, he was coming. He was coming to the ring to help Daddy.
No.
And the police holding him back, and he said, "No, man." He was screaming. He said, "That's my daddy. I'm gonna help my daddy." You know? And so I was wrestling. That's Jerry Stubbs, really. And so they had to stop him. So I said, "All right, you're gonna do like that? I'm gonna have to stop you from going." You know. And then my daughter. And
that's another thing, man. Like back in the day, you didn't smarten your kids up. You didn't smarten your family up.
That's right. You didn't. You didn't tell them nothing. And,
right.
You know, but yeah, man, you didn't smarten your family up. You know, Dennis Gale, I don't think he ever. I mean, they got smart, but he didn't smarten them up. He never did smarten up it. You know, never did. I know, but you know, you could tell his wife and them. They say, well, you know, we kind of know. You know,
right?
But,
right.
But he wouldn't say it. He wouldn't say it.
That's
good old days, man. Good old days.
Good old days,
no doubt. Did you ever work for Nick Goulas?
You know, I got a story there too.
I was hoping you would.
Everybody laughed on that one.
Well, I didn't do much. I went up for one TV on Saturday. He paid me $15.
What?
And yeah, $15. I had a $15 check. And Ole sent me up there, and I told Ole, "Don't you ever send me back up there." I'll go up there. And
my God!
Yeah, sure, $15, sure was.
Wow!
Damn.
Oh man!
What year was that?
Shoot, that was when I kind of first started. You know, when they send you here and send you there. I went to Tampa a lot of times too. They flew me down there.
Yeah.
When I started, they just needed somebody to do jobs.
Right.
You know. Work on TV to put the big, but I always got the top-notch guys to put over on TV. I mean, you know, when you get Harley Race or you get Abdullah the Butcher, you get Wrestling 2 and all those guys. Hey, that's good. And see, I was policing then too, and I'd come back and they said, "We saw you get your ass whooped." I said, "Yeah," but I said, "Hey, I got in there though, didn't I?" Yeah. But they always took care of me a little bit, you know, and didn't just beat me to death. But I was bruised a lot of times. You know, people say what they want. You still get bruised up, you know.
Absolutely.
Soul hurt, muscles hurt, you know, cramps, all that. You get all that. People don't realize it. So you go through that. That's something you endure.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask the question, Jimmy, to him. So Jerry, what was your favorite match? Like, what do you think your best match was?
It had to be with Brad Armstrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it had the as far as working and everything good and doing it. I mean, just easy. And the best match was me and him. We went 40 minutes one night in Birmingham.
Really?
And I was bloody. He was bloody. And, you know, and all people said, "I don't know how y'all
double
did that."
color.
Oh yeah, sure did. It should be on
YouTube.
Yeah, it should be. And I got a match on there with Chavo Guerrero when I was in Texas.
Yeah,
they wanted me to go over Chavo, and Chavo, they love Chavo in Texas. And I told the Bill Watts and them, I said, "Nah, I don't think so." They said, "What do you mean you go over?" I said, "I ain't going over." He said, "What do you mean you ain't going over?" I said, "Look, you see all them people out there? Ain't no damn way I'm going to win." I said, "I'll beat him up bad, but I ain't going to win." I said, "He's going over because I won't never get out of here." Because they love it. I can tell as the match went on, there's 2 parts to that, too, when you go watch it. And I put him over, you know, but we had a hell of a match there too. Everybody the top guys that most of them, I can't say anything bad about them because we did do good and tear the house down when we could.
Yeah. So it's a 2-part match on YouTube.
Yep. Me and Chavo Guerrero. I was Mr. Olympia.
All right.
That's awesome.
I'll check that out, and I hope the listeners do too. We'll all check that out.
Absolutely.
There's several that has got me on YouTube. Some of them's Jerry Stubbs, Mr. Olympia wrestler, and you'll see some of the Jerry. Hey, you'll even see Jerry Stubbs with hair.
Hey man,
yeah, definitely check it out.
People, I went to Japan, came back. I had a guy that fixed these wigs and hair that came out of California, and he could put it on. And oh man, they tried to jerk them off and everything. They couldn't get it off. And I said, "Oh man, you grew hair." I said, "I told you I shaved all that all the time."
Yeah.
Shaved that off. You know, he said, "No, you didn't." I said, "I got hair. Here, pull it." And the hair felt real too.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Make yourself a character. Got to make a character.
Yeah. I was just talking to somebody the other day about how sad it is that those great masked gimmicks are gone now because, they're basically all tied to like luchadors now. And, I was saying that if you were to want to convey pro wrestling in a single picture, you could draw a masked wrestler and people would know, hey, that is a wrestler right there. And that it's something that's built into your brain that you know what it is. But unfortunately, it doesn't really exist anymore outside of the Mexican luchador wrestler, and it's sad because the Assassins, the Blue Demons, the Dante Mephistos, the Mr. Olympias, the Grapplers. Exactly. I mean, so many great tag teams that were just legendary masked tag teams or just masked singles wrestlers. It's sad that gimmick isn't
masked
around.
Superstar.
Yeah, masks. Exactly.
Oh yeah. Hey, he's one of my idols, really. As I started looking at masked people and all that, and you think about that is now Bill Eadie he had a security outfit that he owns, back in late now, like, he was had his own security people and whatever. But I knew him when I worked for the Clayton County Police Department, and they were working in Atlanta and all that. So I knew him back then too. So, and then, I always liked it. Once Bob Armstrong put me on that mask or whatever, I went crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
I totally loved the mask gimmicks as a kid. I mean, when I got turned on to wrestling, it was probably like 83 or something. And I love the mask guys, but then the Road Warriors came out. And I mean, that was, kind of a mask. You know what I mean? The paint, the shoulder pads, Muda, all that kind of stuff. Love that shit. Oh. But the mask wrestlers, I love the mask wrestlers.
Yeah, I was in Japan with them one time.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we good time, boys. I'm telling you.
Love them guys.
They were wild too.
Yes, they were, and I got to hang out with them, and so good guys. Loved Hawking Animal.
Yeah. Did you have some fun in the Japanese nightlife? How did the sponsors treat y'all out that way?
Oh, they treated us good. They would send would send, I guess, their ones that they were training, the younger ones.
Yeah.
They would send them to our matches. See, they all set up, and they all had to practice before they worked. They practiced out there. They set the ring up. They had to carry the ring. They set it up. They worked against each other. They did this. They did that. And then they might have a match during the night. So they boys worked their tail off.
Yeah.
And got to get it. They work a little different, but you get used to it because how to take bumps and things like that. So I had Tiger Jetsing. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah.
I went to Japan as Sheik.
Sheik. I heard that.
Got a magazine that's got me on the front as Sheik, and I went down with him, and he took a liking to me, and I went back to Japan. I bet 3 or 4 times a year for a little while.
Wow!
And they paid good money. Of course, you used to be able to get things cheap over in Japan.
Yeah.
Ship them back over. They ain't no more. They ain't cheap. But yeah, we would go to Japan and shoot, man, good times over there. Now, I didn't work with any like Baba or anybody like that, but I had a couple tag matches with Kabuki, and I think I can't remember his partner, but Kabuki and something was with me and Jet Singh. And Jet Singh had that little with a ball on the end where he'd hit you upside the head with it. all these kids would come up, and throw, their paper cups or whatever at him. Boy, he'd whop them upside the head with that. He said, "Just stay behind me. We'll get there. We'll get to the ring." I said, "Behind you, let's go." Boy, he'd whop. We get on the boat.
You work with Joel Deaton much?
I worked with Joel Deaton when I first started. Joel he was at a lot of places. He didn't stay in one too many.
No, he didn't. He was moving.
A lot of places.
The reason I asked that, I talked to him quite a bit, and I was just curious as to how much you worked with him.
I think he was on several cards of me and Buck Robley and them, back in the day. But that's a long time ago.
A few days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this. This is kind of an interesting question. So if you had to pick your favorite promotion or promoter to work for, who would you say, in your opinion, was your absolute favorite promoter?
I'd have to go with Ron Fuller because I think I worked with him more than anybody else.
That's what
Bill Walker was hard to work for.
Was it?
That's what they all say.
His way or no way. But you could get some and see. And the good thing that I had is I had Junkyard Dog on my side.
Yeah.
We were partners, and I swear to God, he loved Junkyard Dog. He gave him that Mercedes. And so on. And Dog would call me. I'm gonna tell you a couple stories about it. Dog would call me at 1 or 2 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and then say, "Hey," he called me O. He always called, "Hey O." I said, "What, man? What you need? There's something wrong?" He said, "No, I can't sleep." I said, "Well, I could." Well, now I can't. He said, I'll be over there to get you in a minute. I said, "Where are we going?" He said, "Going to work out." I said, "Hey." So we'd go to Foxy's gym in Baton Rouge and work out for at least 2 hours. And then he says, "Let's go." And we go eat some breakfast, go take a shower, back a shower, because we had to leave probably 7 o'clock, go somewhere else. And then about 2 o'clock, riding, he said, "I'm going to take a quick nap. You mind, don't?" I said, "No." Because what he'd do, he'd say, "Look, you drive. If you drive, I won't charge you no trans." I said, I drive, and he's over there. And then when he wakes up, he said, "I'm hungry. Let's stop and get something." I said, "All you do is go back to sleep." But we had fun, man, going up and down.
But how was he in the gym? Was JYD a strong guy?
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
He
was pretty stout. He could lift. So he 360, 375 on the bench.
On the bench, yeah.
Back then, because I know he was taking, so. Yeah. But we'd work out. We'd do good. We'd work out. He'd say, "Oh, I'm tired." "You are, man. I guess you're going to stay over there and sleep." "I won't charge you nothing. Hey, I won't charge you no trans." I said, "Okay, I'm good for that."
Yeah. Deal.
It's a thought though. Somebody like him though that died way before he should have. I mean, what would he be doing right now? Man, what a incredible wrestler he was, and how over he was.
Oh yeah. There's a story behind that too. I was up in Charlotte. I was in the territory with the Crockett's.
Yeah.
Me and Steamboat and several more. Flair was up in and out of there a lot. All the big guys was there, and then Junkyard Dog, Steve Ritter, as they call it, Ritter, and he came up to me one night in Charlotte. We were in Charlotte. He said, "Hey, and he looked sort of the same, little bulked up or whatever. And he said, "How can I get in this business?" And I said, "Well, the only thing I can tell you is you need to get with somebody that's in the business to help you get in," and so on. And he said, "Well, can you do it?" I said, "Well, I was on my way out up there, coming back to Atlanta.
Right.
And I said, I'll be around. If I was, I'd help you out. We'd go to the gym. I like somebody to work out with and do this, that, and the other. He said, man, I sure wish you could. I said, but I'll put you on somebody. And I put him on Steamboat.
Yeah.
And Steamboat helped him a long time. And then the next thing I knew, he was a junkyard dog.
All of a sudden.
I have a lot of business,
Yeah.
But a lot helped me. I got Rocky Johnson. I got, Mr. Wrestling 2 and 1.
Yeah.
And Steamboat helped me. Paul Orndorff. Those guys helped me along the way. I can't, Tiger Conway Jr. helped me a lot. Says I'm just thinking of people that really stand out to help me so much,
And now a word from our sponsor. Life is made up of many gorgeous moments. Cherish them all, big and small, with Blue Nile. Whether it's for yourself or a loved one, Blue Nile's unrivaled selection of expertly crafted fine jewelry and statement pieces help make all your moments sparkle. Blue Nile's experts are on hand to guide you, and their diamond guarantee ensures you get the highest quality at the best price. Celebrate a life well lived in the most radiant way and save up to 30% at BlueNile.com. That's BlueNile.com.
So good, so good, so good.
New markdowns up to 70% off are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Fresh kicks, spring tops, new dresses. There's always a score.
I mean, the denim section is unreal.
Why do I rack? All the dresses.
I always find something amazing.
Head to your Nordstrom Rack store to find can't-miss deals on all the spring things. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Are you a pro wrestling fan? Well, stop by Captain's Corner, where you can get autographed photos, cards, magazines, and figures from all of your favorite wrestling superstars of the past, present, and future. You'll also be able to participate in live signings in the weeks and months to come. Make sure to stop by Captain's Corner on Facebook and give us a holler. Remember, cheers to the working man.
Did you train with Buddy Fuller? Is that who?
No, I didn't train with Buddy Fuller. Actually, when I was up there, I was training with, I'd already been trained a little bit.
Okay.
And me and Robert went to school together for a little while down here in South Atlanta.
Yeah, okay.
So he lived in McDonough, Georgia, and I went to Henry County's elementary school, and then he went to the high school there, but I moved to Forest Park, and we played basketball against them, So we had some history there, There's a lot of history with people that I worked with that I associated with.
Yeah. I just know that Nightmare Danny Davis was he trained there. He was by Buddy Fuller, and he talked about staying at that. What was it? The work farm that he would put right on.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
I didn't know
work farm. Had a ring there, the whole bit.
Yeah. He said there was one guy they were putting him in crab walks, and he would just watch guys crab walk right out the door.
That's true, man. That's true.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's not like it used to be, though. It's not like it's a little different.
Yeah.
A little different. Yeah. I get interested. I watch, but see, the thing of it is, people don't know. I grew up wrestling and watching the Samoans grow. I was down in Pensacola when those kids was running up and down the beach playing in the water.
Yeah.
All of them. The twins, all of them, every one of them. Some of them might have even been babies by then, but and grown up. They've grown up.
You saw the bloodline over there.
So, but yeah, Alpha and Sika, that was in our area over there.
Yeah.
Me and Dog. If Alpha and Sika had their head on right, we could have made hundreds and hundreds, but they got mad. Watch didn't pay them what they thought they should get, and they quit.
I'll never forget that the episode on what was it? One of the WWE shows. I can't remember where they ate the raw chickens.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was incredible.
You want to hear a story? It's funny about the Samoans.
Yeah.
They were riding in a cab, right?
Mm-hmm.
and at the airport when we got off the plane and all that, and they got everything. They were in a cab and are going to get a cab, but the cab driver made them mad. Oh man, when they made them mad, they caused the scene, but the scene was shown on TV. People standing in the airport looking because the Samoan was chasing this cab driver on foot, and he's in a car. The cab driver's in a car, and he's chasing that cab driver. And he said, "I'm gonna kill you." You can hear all this on TV. Watts looked up. He said, "Oh my God!" He said, "Look at them. They after that cab driver. I hope the hell they don't catch him because they'll kill that cab."
Oh man!
You know, we were standing there in the airport, inside in the terminal, and all that, watching this on TV, and then chasing that cab driver around the airport. Oh God!
That's funny. That is funny. I can't imagine that. I'd be scared to death having Samoans running after me. I would just be.
Oh yeah. Look, you know, they look anyway.
I'd drop down in the fetal position probably and just say, get it over with, boys.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
Just to remember, you know, just talking, and then you remember things that pop in your head that happen, but you forget a lot.
Oh,
I do. Hell, I'm 73 years old.
Yes, sir. Well, Jerry, one thing we cannot forget is NWA Hard Times, Daddy, on March 22nd. Yeah, that is my horrible Dusty impersonation. I'll never do it again. I'm sorry. But Mr. Olympia, you're going to be there. I know Barry Windham is going to be there. Meet all the current stars of the current NWA as well. So go for Jerry and Barry, but meet all the new guys too, you know. So
right. That's what I want to do because I was a new guy at one time.
Exactly. Yeah. And of course, this is, you know,
what they say and, you know, how they talk and you know, see, you can tell by talking to them if they're going to make it. But
what is it you say?
Them, hey, I was an old skinny boy. I made it.
Yeah. You got to see if they know what time it is. That's what Wolfie always says, right?
Yeah.
So. But it's cool, man. From 5:15 p.m. Central to 6:45 Central, y'all are going to be signing as a special meet and greet, something special with Nick, a Captain's Corner happy hour. So that's cool. Very cool.
I know that my friend Mike Mondo, remember that name? Mike Mondo is going to be there, and when you see him, say Wolfie said, "There he is," and he'll pop. I promise.
Okay, and Wolfie, okay.
He's like, taking
there
notes.
There he is. There he is. But you got to say it like that. There he is.
There he is.
There he is.
That's perfect, Jerry.
Wolfie said, there he is.
That's perfect.
He'll pop.
Yeah. Well, tell Mike we said hey. So, and Billy and all the gang, you know.
Oh, I will. I'm interested in meeting the guys, you know, hear what they have to say. I was new. New. I can remember it was yesterday.
Well,
I went through, you know.
Yeah. That's a great perspective to have because a lot of the guys don't have that perspective about the new, you know. So that's good.
Look at them. You can't do that. I mean, I was lucky that nobody looked down on me that I know of, and I had people like Rocky Johnson and all those guys wrestling too, and they treated me good and helped. So,
you
know, I guess I was lucky.
Well, I mean, you were lucky because of the time frame you were born in, because you got to work in the greatest time frame of pro wrestling history, and you worked in the greatest sport on God's green earth. So it was perfect. And then you got to play baseball too. That's my other favorite sport.
Man, I was fixing to go there. You got me, Jimmy.
Yeah. That was fun. You know, I played with Pittsburgh, and I was in Bradenton, Florida when me and Randy was playing. We were in Bradenton, Florida.
Because that was the home. That was the home of the Reds there, right? Forever. Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Pittsburgh, they kind of shared the complex.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big Cincinnati Reds fan, so that's. I'm sorry to say.
Watching TV, and I sure hope they put what's his name in the Hall of Fame.
They need to. Pete Rose. So, yeah, absolutely.
Even though what he did, how many people did that?
Right. Right.
You know they did, and they bet, and they did this, that, and the other. There's no harm done, and they just, I don't know. Somebody had it against him, I think, but he's eligible. I hope he gets.
Yeah. You know, I think that Japanese guy is going to be the reason Pete gets in the Hall of Fame. Is that guy that got caught almost recently? What was it? The greatest baseball player, Tani. I think they're like, oh wait, we can't kick him out of the sport for betting, and he was pretty much guilty because his Japanese interpreter got in trouble for betting. So I almost feel like that'll help Pete's case, but you know, hopefully.
I hope he needs to be there. When I was playing, I went to a camp with Johnny Bench.
Oh, man.
Johnny Bench put it on, and Johnny Bench told us a story. He said, you know, boys, he said, I wouldn't be where I am today if the catcher in front of me hadn't got hurt.
Yeah.
He said, I got one of his catcher's mitts, matter of fact, Johnny Bench.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he signed it and gave it to me.
That is awesome.
He said, I wouldn't have been a player like I was, but the catcher got hurt in front of me. And I got an opportunity to step in, and when I stepped in, I never stepped out. So
yeah, became the GOAT, or one of at least.
For some reason, I thought of this the other day, and I know both of you are going to remember this, but one of my favorite shows on Saturday morning with Johnny Bench was the Baseball Bunch.
Yes, the Baseball Bunch. I love that show.
I got a hunch you'll love the Baseball Bunch.
Sure was.
Yeah, that was best. Yeah. And, you know, Johnny's dad, because Johnny, I think, was from the same area as Mickey Mantle, and that was his big idol. And he wanted to be like Mickey, but his dad, who had a lot of good foresight, said, hey, Johnny, the quickest way to the majors is be a catcher. And he did that, and that was, you know, so, yeah.
Catcher and pitcher.
Yeah, catcher and pitcher for sure, but you almost have to be supernatural to be a pitcher too, you know. So a catcher, you just have to. I mean, I'm sure your knees are probably wrecked, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I figured with baseball and then wrestling. Come on, man. So.
My hurt spot.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much for doing this, brother.
Great episode, man. Thank you so much.
Wow. I hope it was, you know.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Tell Mike we said hey, and all the people down in the NWA and Dothan, man. Tell them all we said hey. Tell Kerry Morton we said hey, Ricky, and all of them. So.
Okay, I'll do it, man. And I'll be sure and tell Mike. There he is.
There he is. Yeah, he'll pop for that, I promise.
Thank you, Jerry. That's been awesome, man. Appreciate you.
Anytime, give me a call.
All right. Yes, sir.
Thanks, sir. We'll be right back after these messages.
When you think about your future, you know what calls to you. Meaningful work, happiness, growth, and sharing these values with others. But how will you find all of that? There are many paths forward, including one you may not have considered. The military provides countless opportunities to pursue your calling, where you can be part of something bigger than yourself, while still being yourself and having the future you want. You have a calling, we have an answer. Learn more at todaysmilitary.com.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Support for Live and in Color with Wolfie D is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code WOLFIE at manscaped.com. If my math's correct, that's about 8 million balls.
All right. Thanks again to Mr. Olympia, Jerry Stubbs. That was an awesome interview, Jimmy.
Yeah, dude, he's great, man, and such history too, and in all the great places, continental, southeastern. I mean, come on, man, mid-south. Just.
I'm not gonna lie. I want to hear more about Junkyard Dog. I wish he was still around, where we could get him. Or
oh my God,
somebody that knows him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was like, I want more Junkyard Dog stuff.
Yeah, definitely. That's it, man. So Billy Jack was your old question. Now new question is, hey man, you got any JYD stories?
Yeah, tell me about the Junkyard Dog, man.
It's like when Reggie B. Fine said, "You gonna bust a tank? Come on, I got my medicine."
Right.
Hey man, you had that D-bad boy. Hey man, what the fuck are you trying to do? Bust a tank? Bring your ass on, man. I got my medicine in my pocket. I got my medicine. Shit. Damn that guy. Bring your ass on out of there.
Right, man. So that was awesome interview. And guess what we got coming up next week?
Dude, I'm so excited. I can't even hide it. You tell him.
Larry Zbyszko.
The living legend. So.
Yes. And I told y'all it was going to happen. We just were, we had to move stuff around.
Yeah.
And then and we got Perry Saturn coming up. We've already got that one in the bag. So, yeah.
Yeah. Just
we got
a
some good
little
stuff coming
patience.
for y'all, man.
Yes, we do. We got some great stuff. Y'all just be patient with us. Mondays come and Mondays go, but more and more you got some great episodes coming. We promise. So just be on the lookout for those. But yeah, today we hope you enjoyed Mr. Olympia. That was a great interview, man. We really enjoyed doing that.
For sure. And next week, tune in for the living legend, Larry Zbyszko, and we are out.
Still livin' in color on the Wolfie D. You got a cap for your dome.
Oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? Well, check this out. It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. Seriously. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
Hi, this is Javon, your Blinds.com design consultant.
Oh, wow. A real person.
Yep. I'm here to help with everything from selecting the perfect window treatments to...
Well, I've got a complicated project.
No problem. I can even help schedule a professional measure and install. We can also send you samples fast and free.
I just might have to do more.
Whatever you need.
So the first room we're looking at is for...
Shop Blinds.com now and save up to 45% site-wide. Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, the podcast that's based on the old school but can still help you find the good stuff from today. Jimmy Street and the Plastic Chic, Jared, are the undisputed tag team champions of the wrestling podcast world. From thought-provoking topics to superstar interviews to action figure expertise. This team does it all, and all they ask is, give me back my pro wrestling! Every other Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey everybody, Gene Jackson here, inviting you to check out the Retro Wrestling Review, where each week I'm joined by some great co-hosts who help me review classic episodes of USWA Championship Wrestling, and right now we are doing week-by-week reviews of 1993. But we don't just do reviews, sometimes we get a chance to interview some of the people who were there and lived it, plus do watch-alongs. It's a lot of fun, so check out new episodes that drop every Wednesday at WrestleCopia.com, and to find links to everything associated to the podcast, you can go to USWApodcast.com.
So that was another great episode. Hey, Wolfie, tell them where they can find you on social media.
Jimmy, they can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. I'm just kidding. They can find me on Facebook. My personal page is Warren Wolf, WOLFE. I'm on Instagram at WarrenWolf13.
You can always find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Live Wolfie D. Here's the thing. Wolfie always has offers for his autographed photos. He has a selection of some awesome photos from throughout his career that he will autograph and personalize
personalize any way that you want him to. Just contact him either directly at his personal Facebook page or through any one of our other pages, and we'll make sure you get in contact directly with Wolfie. Get those photos, right, Wolfie?
Yeah, I've got some good stuff on there, to help with the podcast.
Folks, if you can't get out to a show to meet Wolfie D, there's nothing like that, especially for the fans of PG-13 and Wolfie D. And before we go, you can always find me, your host, Jimmy Street, at James Rock Street on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.
And hey, Jimmy, before we go real quick, I just want to add in there, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate, first of all, the work you've done for this podcast. You have worked your butt off. Secondly, the people that are liking the page. Beyond that, even more, is the people that are listening, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah, and remember, guys, the podcast drops a new episode every Monday at noon, and our past episodes are streaming now on demand on all major podcast formats. Thanks again.
Yeah. PG-13 Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame class of 2024. Give it up. Spaceman Jones with the beat. Here we go. The 90s was ours, and we did it with pride. 15-time tag champs, what a hell of a ride. Rock and roll couldn't beat us. No Tommy and Doug. Knox Mother's dirty white boy who called themselves thugs. T is for terrible. H is for hell. Ha! PG both been locked up in county jail. The kid was real, and we were immature punks. Buddy Wayne couldn't stand us because we didn't wear trunks. We did it our way. In and out of the ring, bought a real rap swagger to the Memphis thing. You can hate it, you can love it, we just did our thing. Still true to the game, now we Hall of Fame. PG-13, put respect on our name. Yeah.
This has been a James Rock Street production.